All right, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our video predictions, giving our thoughts on what we think we will see in the second season, season 2 of HBO's House of the Dragon. Alright, dudes, so definitely want to go ahead and do one now that we've seen the wrap-up episode, episode 10, final episode for the first season of HBO's House of the Dragon. Now, if you guys haven't seen it yet, this video contains spoilers because in this video we're going to be giving our thoughts and predictions on what we think is going to happen in the second season, talk about kind of the future of House of the Dragon. So, really enjoyed the first season. It leaked early this weekend on HBO, so some people got to watch it early, myself included. If you didn't, no problem. It was like a couple days early or something, no big deal. But it was a good finale. It was a good wrap-up episode. Now, the second season, according to sources, is going to start filming in early 2023. So as of time filming right now, this is getting in late October, early November coming up soon, of 2022. Season 2, House of the Dragon, begins shooting early 2023. We might be able to see it fourth quarter 2023, near the end of the year, fall time 2023, if they can finish it within, if they can film all 10 episodes and finish it, do all the CG and all the editing and stuff for all the dragons and stuff, by maybe I don't know, what time would they have to get it done by? Probably the end of the summer if we're going to see it for fall 2023. So most likely near the end of the year, probably like October, November, December. If we do see it next year, hopefully we will for season 2 of House of the Dragon. But it might get pushed to 2024. It's just what it is. It takes a while to create dragons and do the stuff they do. And it's not exactly the same as Game of Thrones, where some of the seasons in Game of Thrones you'd have the 10 episodes, but you wouldn't really have hardly any CG in season 2, season 3 for the original Game of Thrones series, like direwolves and stuff. But, nothing like some of the White Walkers and stuff they're doing, but nothing too crazy. House of the Dragon is kind of like, every episode you have the dragons, so it's going to require more editing, which takes time. That's why the final season of Game of Thrones took 2 years to do instead of just the usual, film it within a year, air it within the next year, 1 year. So it might be 2024. But that said, I was super impressed with the first season of House of the Dragon. I thought it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I thought the characters were great. And thought that the finale, I did have some people comment they thought the finale was a little bit disappointing. The finale almost is like a setup for season 2, almost. It's quite the cliffhanger, episodes 9 and 10. Spoiler warning, like I said. We don't see too many character deaths there. We have the big one with Lucas in the finale with Aemond, and really setting up this war between the two factions, the Rhaenyra and her Targaryen faction with Daemon and the others, and a bunch of dragons. They have the advantage in terms of dragons. Daemon counted, how many did he say? They lost one. But it was a young one anyway, right, with what happened in the finale. But a dozen or so, something like that, if they can get them all. Now, they might not be able to get them all, but if they can get some of them, they might have 8, 9, or 10 dragons. If they can get people to, ride them all, it would be pretty awesome to see, right? Some of the fight scenes, if you have Aemon's dragon against Daemon, is one of the big fight scenes. Whichever one Daemon's going to be using. We saw that really cool black dragon at the end of season 2, which just looked like a fully matured Inferno dragon, really sweet. It looked like whatever it was spewing out was pure lava and dragon napalm. They just look really cool, right? It was a cool setup for the second season. So I'm really excited for this one. I have not read the books that this one is based on, and even if you do, it's no guarantee because they might swerve and change it anyway. But it has to kind of line up with the beginning of how Game of Thrones started to start with. So yeah, man. I mean, the second season it should be really great. It looks awesome. Should be some great battles. Should be some really great, dragon fights and stuff like that, which would be cool. I'm kind of rooting in terms of just a fan. I'm rooting for Rhaenyra's side at this point. I thought that Alicent and the others, the Hightowers, while I liked them originally in the beginning of the first season, as the season went on, they got, more and more sort of slanted. They started doing more and more stuff. There was the Strongs and what happened with them, Larys and the others. So I'm more rooting for Rhaenyra at this point. And her side. And the final episode of season 1 is called The Black Queen, which I guess refers to her, sort of. So she has some vibes that remind me of Daenerys in the original Game of Thrones series, although I felt like with Daenerys, her character, progression was too quick at the end. Like, she was a good guy almost all the way throughout. And then at the end of Game of Thrones, she just quickly, you could say it's in her blood or whatever, especially based on what we're seeing kind of now. But still, she just kind of became a villainess quite quickly at the end. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way they ended off Game of Thrones with her in particular. With Rhaenyra and what they're doing in House of the Dragon, I feel like it makes more sense. Like, if Rhaenyra now goes and decides to just torch the whole place and just screw it and just burn everything, I think that makes more sense than what we saw with Daenerys. A lot more sense. Because this is her son, and she was trying to show restraint, and she was trying not to get into this, and now it's too late. So it should be really exciting when they eventually get it done. It's probably, for season 2, my most anticipated series to see for a second season right now. Other series I'm excited for, Walking Dead is always, you guys know, is always my main go-to. Spin-off series for Walking Dead should be great in the next couple of years. But there's the Jon Snow spin-off series. That one's a sequel, not a prequel, for Game of Thrones. Eventually that will get done, but we don't know exactly when. And they already have everything set up and ready to go for House of the Dragon. They've done their first season now, so doing a second will probably be easier than bootstrapping the Jon Snow series. But we'll see what happens in terms of release dates. For season 2, I'm predicting it to be an awesome season. It will probably be better than the first season, just because so much of the first season was set up and just getting to know the characters and getting to see who's who. And they did a bunch of time skips that were a little bit tricky here and there. But season 2 of House of Dragons should be awesome because it's basically going to be an all-out war situation. And it will be really cool to see dragons versus dragons, because Game of Thrones, we never really got to see that. Not like this. This will be like a lot of them. So just in terms of volume, it's going to be cool. If there's like 10 dragons on this side versus whatever. And then people and whatever weapons they can muster against the dragons. And they have the Alicent and the others have the advantage in terms of manpower like crazy. So maybe they can devise some cool devices. We got to see at the end of Game of Thrones some devices they could use against the dragons with Daenerys and that. So maybe we can see Alicent and the others put together some stuff, because if they're going to face Daemon with everything he has and how he's gonna fight, easily my favorite character in House of Dragon is Daemon for sure. I think he's the best. I think he's the best character. Maybe a rematch in season 2, fight between him and Christian, and I hope he wins this time. Christian's also another one that's very interesting. He started off as a hero for me in the first season, and he kind of, by the time the season ends off in season 1, he becomes a villain, sort of. Like, he's willing to cut kids' eyes out and stuff if she tells him to, Alicent tells him to. That's something that, normal person, I understand he's got his oaths and whatnot, but a normal person would be like, really? You really want me to do? I mean, I took this oath, but really want me to do? They would have the trouble. He didn't seem to really struggle much with that. He seemed to be kind of, so from that perspective, he comes across as a villain for me. But that's just my perspective on the first season and how it ended off here. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about season 2 of House of the Dragon. What are you excited to see? Who do you think will win? Somebody might spoil this for me if there's info in the books that kind of would allude to who will win, but I kind of want to see Rhaenyra win, and I kind of think they will. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Comments below, predictions below. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. Subscribe at the bottom. I'll see you soon. Travis saying peace later, guys. See you soon.